KUTV Elimu Live, the Kenya's premier educational TV. Today we are going to discuss, or rather analyze, the Samaritan, which is a compulsory play in the current educational system in our secondary schools. So the Samaritan is a play written by John Lara. It has 140 pages with 4 acts and 3 scenes per act. So just before we start, my name is Majune. I'm a teacher of English and Literature, currently stationed at Odienya Secondary School in Kadibo Sub-County, Kisumu County. And with me, I have my colleagues. They'll introduce themselves. Welcome, madam.
Thank you. So my name is Madam Mwangi, Miss Maryanne Mwangi. I'm a teacher in Kiambu County, stationed in Gatundu South. I hope you'll enjoy the lesson. Welcome.
Hello viewers, my name is Mr. Douglas Gwaro, a teacher of English and Literature. Currently I'm teaching in a school in Kasarani Sub-County, Nairobi County, a school called Kawagarrison Secondary School, just next to Kenyatta University. Welcome.
Okay, thank you. So The Samaritan is a play published by Kenya Literature Bureau and approved by the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development. And these are the cast in the play. We have Miss Njeri, who is the principal, Sagrada Secondary School, Mr. Kamona, the deputy principal, Miss Nicole, ethics and innovation teacher, Miss Shalini, the principal secretary, Mr. Piro, chairman, the local school board, Alvita, a student, Montano, student, and Piro, the local chair of the school board. And then we also have Mosi, who is the mayor, Ramdai, deputy mayor, harvester, chief executive officer, Maracas Municipality, Seymour, secretary, Department of Planning and Development, Ted, secretary, Department of Health and Environment. We have Jaden, the principal judge, Bembe, the inspector general of police, Basdeo, political opposition leader, Tajo, head of Anti-Corruption Investigations Bureau. Then we have students, journalists, waiter, and bodyguard. So we will start with the plot analysis. Like I said, the book has 3 acts, and each act has 3 scenes. So we'll start with the first scene of Act 1. Madam Mwangi, welcome.
Thank you so much, Madam Moderator. So Act 1, if we had, that is Scene 1. If you had to give it a title, it's a failed award. Looking at the setting of Act 1, it is the events are happening at Sagrada Secondary School in their hall. This is during their closing day. They are planning a closing day. There are also students who are supposed to be awarded an award because of coming up with the app that is The Samaritan. The title of the play, that is The Samaritan, comes from the app that the students have come up with the help of their teacher, that is Miss Nicole. In the hall, we have the deputy principal, that is Miss Kamona. We also have the students. The mayor, Mosi, is also there. There are other people like the deputy mayor, Ramdai. We also have the leader of opposition, Mr. Basdeo. Now, as the scene 1 is commencing, we have the deputy principal addressing the students in the hall. Then shortly, we have the mayor, Mosi, coming in. Ramdai, we also have harvester, Basdeo, that joins them in the hall. In attendance, we also have the board chair of the school, Mr. Piro. It is a closing day, and the mayor is supposed to launch and award the winners of this year's secondary innovation that is they had a competition, and apparently the two students, Alvita and Montano, are able to get that prize, and the mayor is coming to preside over the award ceremony. Now, looking at, we'll just have a brief of what happens in the scene. The students try to explain what exactly the app is all about. They try to give the advantages of using this particular app, that is the Samaritan. And of course, an award cannot be given if we do not know exactly what we are awarding. So there is a play within a play in scene 1 where Alvita and Montano try to demonstrate what this app is all about. They take us into the future. We see how the future could be. There is one student who views the future from a pessimistic point of view, the other one from an optimistic point of view. All this they are doing to try and illustrate exactly what the app will be about. But now when they explain, it's about exposing the ills that are happening in the society. And where will they be getting the information to feed in the app? They explain that it will be coming from the different volunteers. So if you have an information of something that is going wrong in your community, you forward that and then it is posted in the app. But now come to think of it, there are students who are telling the mayor that the ills of the society can be easily be exposed by giving people the freedom of forwarding the information that they gather from the society. The mayor and his group tend to be very shocked about this certain innovation, because when you read the play further, you realize the leaders have failed, that they have failed the municipality and the people who elected them. So they feel afraid that some of their evils, the ills that they have committed in the society, might be exposed. We've said this scene 1 is referred to as the failed award. Remember, these leaders are here to oversee the awarding of these top students who invented the app. But now when they come to learn what the app will be doing, it will be like exposing the ills that are happening in Maracas municipality. The leaders get afraid, and Mosi tries to explain, he tries to object to what this app may do. He asks, maybe if you are telling people that there is freedom of posting anything in the app, what if they give lies? What if they lies about their leaders? And he's told that there has to be accountability of what is posted in the app. But the leaders are not convinced, and therefore they say they need more time to look at the app, how it came to be, how people will be feeding information in the app. They try to convince the teacher, that is Madam Narine, to put the app on hold so that they can look at the modalities of running this app. All this they are doing not for the welfare of the people of Maracas municipality, but out of their own interest. Out of the fears that are expressed by the leaders, being led by the mayor, we do not have an award given to these students. Rather, it is postponed to a later date that is not given. The mayor feels that it is not right to launch or award this app because of the fears that he expresses. And that is why we have scene 1 of Act 1 labeled as the failed award. The students were supposed to be awarded, but unfortunately that did not happen because the leaders felt this app was not auguring well with their interest. Thank you. We move on to scene 2 of Act 1.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Mwangi. So in scene 2 of Act 1, we will give it the episodic title, The Rift. So after the award had failed in the first scene, now we come to the second scene, whereby now the members of the Maracas municipality are now going to gang up and see how they can get themselves out of the information that is there on the app, or how they can eliminate the Samaritan app. So in this act, the setting of the act is at the Maracas municipal headquarters, and it is in the mayor's boardroom. Present in the boardroom are the mayor, Harvester, Justice Jaden, Inspector Bembe, Honorable Ted, Honorable Seimo, and Ramdae, who is the deputy mayor. So as the mayor comes in, the bodyguards of the mayor are carrying out the 4 daily newspapers, and they place the newspaper in front of the mayor. So in front of the mayor, we have the 4 newspapers. So students, you should know the 4 newspapers that the bodyguards are carrying and placing just in front of the mayor. So we have the Caribbean Watch, and the Caribbean Watch is titled The Municipal Leadership, a Criminal Enterprise. And then you have the Sentinel, titled Municipal Leaders Stripped Naked. The Insight, wrote in Maracas Municipal Council Exposed. And the Spotlight, Municipal Leaders Face Imprisonment. So these newspapers have the information that are on the Samaritan app, and in the newspaper, the vices and the poor governance that is taking place in Maracas municipality are well exposed. So as they engage on what is there in the newspaper and how they can free themselves from the cases that are there, Jaden first of all thinks that they should just give boxes of chocolates to reporters and editors. On the other side, Mosi thinks that they should get the students who are supposed to be awarded. Not really. Mosi feels like he did not launch the Samaritan app, neither did he award the students Alvita and Montano, who had won the competition this year. And so Mosi declined to launch the Samaritan app and award the students, and he feels that it is right. On the other hand, Seimo also feels like they should just get money and then pay the journalists so that they stop airing, and editors, they stop posting the information and on the Samaritan app and writing or rather publishing the information on the newspaper. So corruption is, as Seimo and Ted are talking about the boxes of chocolate and also paying those ones who are posting the information on the Samaritan app, the theme of corruption is very clear just as we start the first act. And so in some of the issues that are being addressed in this newspaper is that there is supply of air by different departments of in Maracas municipality. And aside that, there are also allegations such as drug trafficking, grabbing of public land, inflation of the cost of municipal projects, use of proxies to secure municipal tenders, undertaking shoddy public works, murder, and gang warfare. So the information is very detailed on the Samaritan app, and the leaders of the Samaritan app, all of them in one way or the other have been exposed in the app. So they've come together, they want to agree on how they can go about this issue and then maybe ban the Samaritan app, or how they can free themselves from the information that are being relayed on the app. So from what they are discussing, we also find that Bembe owns the Mandingo Golf Club, and he has been keeping it a secret. It has been a private affair, but it is all over and everybody knows about it, and now it has been also exposed. It's also exposed in the Samaritan app. So Ted feels like such online allegations form a strong basis for he asks if such online allegations can form a strong basis for prosecution and conviction. And we have the judge, Jaden, who says that provided they are valid documents and they support those allegations, thereby they can be prosecuted. So they feel like they can find themselves in Vendetta Prison Express. So as they are talking about the Samaritan app and how they can free themselves and everything to do away with the Samaritan, Justice Jaden feels like he is clean and he is not going to mess his job because of other leaders of the Maracas municipality. So he says that they have their skeletons open and everybody knows about their skeleton, and so they should be the ones to face their mess and clear their names anytime they are taken to the court of law. And then at that point, Jaden leaves the meeting. So Jaden is a judge and he leaves the meeting prematurely. And then the conversation didn't end there, the discussion didn't end there. So Mosi, Mayor Mosi, Harvester, Bembe, Ted, Simon, and Ramdae are still having their meeting, and they're still at loggerheads and discussing how they can at least clear their names and make themselves clean as far as these vices and allegations are there in the Samaritan app and the newspaper. And then we have Ramdae, who thinks that, we have Ted, first of all, who says that they should give money to the two students, that is Alvita and Montano, as well as the teacher, so that they can ban the Samaritan app. And Ramdae thinks that that's a good idea, but he has loans and projects and cannot raise such amount of money. Bembe also feels like he has used all the money he had to construct the Madingo Golf Club, and he's now broke. Ted also says that he cannot raise such amount of money. And then Avesta says that they can now find a way of averting the court cases from coming up in the first place. So that one is not possible. They continue talking of how they can come up with solutions and either scheme a way to make themselves clean. Up to that point now, Ted and Seymour feels like because Mosi cannot give them some of the municipal funds so that maybe to clear the allegations once the cases are taken to the court of law, Ted and Seymour also leaves the meeting prematurely, and then Mayor Avesta, Bembe, and Ramdae remains behind. Again, they're talking of how they can come to a common agreement on how they can go about the Samaritan app. So this act ends, and this act is, we term it as the rift, and it is ending when Jaden has left the meeting. Ted and Seymour are also leaving. Ted and Seymour leaves the meeting as well. And then Mosi now tells them that they are going to know that he is the Mosi or Tunya, the smoke that thunders. So that is the end of Act 2, and the rift comes in when Jaden, Ted, and Seymour leaves the meeting. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Moderator, for an opportunity. I'm going to talk about Act 1, Scene 3, which we have titled as The Strategies. This scene takes place a week after a meeting that was held in Maracas Municipal Headquarters, that is in the Mayor's boardroom. And it happens when Mr. Avesta and Mr. Bembe, who are considered the dependable allies of the Mayor, they converge a meeting here, and now they want to discuss on the way into which they are going to make sure that they do away with what is going on, that is the exposure that is being aired by the Samaritan app. And in this case, we are told that Bembe is with the Mayor, together with Mr. Avesta, who is the CEO in Maracas Municipality. And for the first time, Bembe is shown to be someone who is now aware, because when we were dealing with Scene 2, we realized that Mr. Inspector Bembe, who is the Inspector General of the Police, is not aware of the Samaritan app. So here is confirming to us that he actually logged into the app and learned about a few accusations that have been leveled against him. He's saying that in the Samaritan, people are accusing him of being corrupt. And then they are also saying that Mr. Bembe is at a point whereby he's predicting his own death. And the reason why he's doing this is because now there is one problem. The place where he has built his retirement home is a place where he had actually bought land that belonged to which we shall learn later, land that belonged to Maracas University. That is where he's saying that he's almost retiring, and it is coming out clear now in the public that he had actually acquired that land illegally. He has built his retirement home. And also to bring to your attention, this Madingo Golf Club that we are talking about here in Scene 1, in Scene 2, belongs to Mr. Bembe, who is the Inspector General of Police. Now back to Scene 3. Here they are trying to strategize. The people who are present here, as we said earlier, are Avesta, who is the CEO, Bembe, and the mayor. Those three seem to be aligned to the mayor. The other, Mr. Teddy, Seima, Jaden, and also Honorable Ramdai, who is the deputy mayor of Maracas municipality, they seem to have decamped from this camp. So the people who are basically taking part in this scene, they are the dependents, the allies, the closest allies of Mayor Mosi, or Atunya as he calls himself. Back to the crimes leveled against Mr. Bembe, he's saying that when he logged into the app, he realized that people are accusing him of the corruption cases, and already we have mentioned one of it. And then there is also violation of human rights, and also drug peddling, and also extortionism, which is one of the worst crimes someone can commit against humanity. He also says that he felt like he's in a coma simply because of that. The reason why the three have decided to come and strategize is because of the rift that happened in Scene 2, whereby now they seem to be left alone. Remember, the issue is affecting all of them, but now the other group has left because of maybe the mayor refused to approve the supplementary budget so that they can use the money to bribe the people from the media, at least to avert the issue that is coming up. Another issue that is mentioned in Scene 3 of Act 1 is that they are mentioning about a plan that has been urged by the group, the rebel group, let's call them the rebel group, that decamped from this meeting that was held in previously by the mayor. And then they are planning on how they are going to impeach or oust the mayor from office. So that is another issue to add on to the challenge that the mayor is facing, and all the other officials. They are also planning to impeach him from office, and they're saying that the group has vowed they want to mobilize the councillors in the municipal council and also the aldermen to pass a vote of no confidence in him. And this one brings a lot of fear in the mayor, because the mayor feels that he will finally end up in prison. And then also there is another issue that is coming up about the role of the media in the society. We all went through Scene 2, but the media here has exaggerated its headline, especially the Sentinel. The Sentinel has said, I think it is a way in which the media tries to capture the attention of the viewers. Bembe is saying that the Sentinel is claiming that he lost a tooth during a boardroom meeting. And we read through the scene. We didn't see people fighting. It's only that we saw a rift, people separating, and others running away because of their selfish interest. But contrary to that, Afesta is also telling Mosi that the Caribbean Watch claims that Bembe's hotel is built on Maracas University land. That one is what is adding injury unto the pain that Mr. Bembe is going through. And this makes him more fearful. He feels that he's about to retire. But another issue that is coming up now to actually, how can I put it, to actually, how can I put it? Another issue that is coming up to actually supplement what we heard about the behaviors of Mr. Bembe, who is the Inspector General of the police in Maracas municipality. Bembe, the people of the media have also known that Bembe owns a gang called the Ghetto Boys. Ghetto Boys is a group that is used to rob people all over the municipality. And it is also claimed that much of the money used to buy the land, he got it through this Ghetto Boys gang that used to rob people and take the money direct to him. In this meeting, they set strategies on how they can deny ever refusing an award to the students for innovation. Moses suggests that the issue to be considered a cyberbullying. So they want to come up with a reason. Remember, the mayor had been called to Sagrada Secondary School, which is actually outside the normal programs of the school, to ensure or to help the school in awarding the students Alvit and Montano. But the meeting ends prematurely because the mayor now decides that he's not going to award the students, neither the program is not going to go ahead because he feels that there are some issues that are needed to be elaborated further. And then we also saw in scene 1 whereby he called Nicole, their teacher of ethics and innovation, together with Mrs. Narin to the place where they were seated so that they could discuss on the issue. And therefore the mayor is being sensitive that the people are going to ask the reasons why maybe he did not award the students as planned. That is why in this meeting, despite the fact that they want to stop the rebels from going forward to mobilizing councillors, they also want to come up with reasons why, or the points which they are going to defend themselves against that issue whereby he failed to award the students in Sagrada Secondary School. And he is giving the main reason as cyberbullying, even though we learned from previously that this man did not understand much about the Samaritan app, but now because of what he has seen in the media, he feels that probably it is because of cyberbullying. They are even planning on how to set Ramdai and his team behind bars. Of course, it is a strategy they are setting, but basing on the flow of the story, it seems like Honorable Ramdai, who is his deputy, is also one of the most corrupt people in the society here in Maracas municipality, because according to Mr. Bembe, he says that it is Honorable Ramdai who sold him land and actually gave him a title deed. And therefore, they want to use that as an asset, as a way of ensuring that they take Honorable Ramdai to court and eventually he should be taken to prison. And then another point that we see from that scene, Moss is suggesting that they use the militia group. It is also coming to our attention that Moss is also owning a group called the Red Eagle Gang. The Red Eagle Gang is owned by Mosi, and the leader of that group is called the Black Man. The reason why they are mentioned here is because the mayor is planning to use this group to avert the plans that are put forth by the rebel group, that is Mr. Daddy. There is also another one called Seima, and also Honorable Ramdai. Together they have joined the opposition leader, that is Honorable Pasdeo, and now they are planning to convince the councillor so that they can pass a vote of no confidence against the mayor. So they want to use this to. So what is happening here is that the mayor is basically planning on how they are going to stop that group from ever meeting to deliberate on that issue. To end up on that scene, the Samaritan and the convincing Nicole. Okay, that group that we are talking about, the Red Eagle and the Ghetto Boys, they are going to work hand in hand to ensure that the Samaritan doesn't go ahead with ensuring that it is known all over the country, even though later on we come to realize that the issue is already with the national government. And then they are also planning on how they are going to convince Nicole so that she can put to halt, as my colleague said, in scene 1 as it is presented. And even though we are told that Mosi believes Nicole might be a challenge because he had already handled her, Nicole seems to be someone who is not easily convinced by anybody, and therefore he has some doubts on that strategy of ensuring that they reach her so that she can stop the app from going forth. Then finally, Bembe suggests that he has a way of making people switch allegiances. And now we are yet to know which ways are these that Mr. Bembe is saying. And they actually mentioned about the issue of him implicating this lady, Nicole, on an incident which we shall discuss later on. And then from that scene alone, there are some issues and also some issues of concern that we can see there, what we can say as themes. There is the abuse of power or office and also misappropriation of funds. Basically, the plans or the strategies that they want to put across, that is an indication of the abuse of power. Someone who is in power and he wants to use his power to find his way. And also another issue is the police brutality, just the mentioning of the two groups, the two militia groups. And unfortunately, the militia groups are run by people who are not supposed to run such groups. There is the issue of the militia group called the Red Eagle, which is actually owned and financed by the mayor himself. There is also this other one called the Ghetto Boys, which is used to extortion money from the citizens. There is also the issue of corruption and collisions. These people, from the onset, they are very corrupt. They are using corrupt means to ensure that they get their way so that they can remain on power. And you can see them working together in coalitions to ensure that they actually remain in power. There is also the issue of greed and hypocrisy. Greed is one of the pertinent issue in that scene, as we can see. These people, they are fighting to remain in power because they are greedy. They want to eat the money or what lawfully belongs to the citizens. There is also the issue of hypocrisy, and this one can be elaborated well by the issue of the militia groups. Imagine a mayor of a city, a mayor of a municipal council owning a group, a militia group that deals with people who are against him. There is also another one, the one I mentioned about Ghetto Boys, the one that is used to that is the highest form of hypocrisy that can be seen in any society. And also using the same militia groups, it can also be used to illustrate on the point of betrayal and blackmail. This is the highest order of betrayal. The citizens elected the mayor into office to protect them and defend them. But in this case now that he has been found guilty of abuse of office, he has actually, which is indeed a form of betrayal, is now using blackmail. Like now this group is going to use to avert the plans that are put forth by the rebel groups led by Mr. Pasdale and the rebels who have just decamped from him. That is blackmail. And also there is egocentrism and selfishness. Those are the key issues. Also egocentrism, somebody, or we can look at the people who have decamped from the mayor. They have decamped from his group because the mayor refused to allocate more money so that they can use to bribe the people from the media and those ones running those ones who are running the Samaritan, the app. And now also they wanted to use the same money so that they can bribe people all over the place so that they can remain in power. That is egocentrism of the highest order. There is also impunity, cruelty, and the use of militia groups, which I have already mentioned. Having a group which is not supposed to exist, that is impunity. And then there is also the role of media, as I have mentioned earlier on. Sometimes the media is used to ensure that it brings forth the issues that are eating the society. And in this case, we have seen the media being presented very well. Like in this case, all these issues, even the Samaritan itself, it is actually sharing information. It is one form of the media. Then there is also, okay, I think those are the issues presented in that scene. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much, Mr. Douglas. So what we were listening to was a brief analysis of Act 1. We were informed when we were starting, every act has 3 scenes, and basically those were the some of the points that you can come across when you're reading Act 1. Now we move on to Act 2. Act 2 again has 3 scenes. So I'll take you through scene 1 of Act 2. To give it just a summary of what scene Act 2, scene 1 is all about, it's about fear. We are looking at, as the events are happening, scene 2 starts with some concerns that raise fear with what is happening with the leaders trying to fight the app. Now, the setting of scene 1 is at Sagrada Secondary School at Miss Nicole's office. Around 8 a.m., she's approached by her 2 students, the pioneers of the app, that is Alvita and Montano. Now, the 2 students, as it will be when you feel like you as a student, when you feel like your teacher is in trouble, at times you may want to help her out so that she does not get into more trouble. And it's the same with these 2 students, Alvita and Montano. They feel like the teacher, Miss Nicole, is in a lot of problems because of the app. And so their views are like, why can't we just drop this app if it's landing you into more trouble? One, they've looked at it. They were not awarded. There was the failed awarding that happened in Act 1. Then the launch of the app has also been postponed to a later date that is not given. And then things have been happening, and these students are worried for their teacher. But one of the themes that will come out of scene 1, Act 2, is that theme of determination. Miss Nicole is determined that even though there are challenges that are coming up, there are problems, there are threats that are coming up, she feels that this app is the right app for the people of Maracas municipality. Now, as the students are trying to convince her to let go of the app, she reminds them of the parable of the Good Samaritan, where there was a Jewish man that was beaten up, he was robbed, and he was left to die. Then there came a priest that passed by where the Jewish man was lying. The priest did not help. He just stared at the man and went ahead. He ignored the injured man. Then after the priest, we have the Levite that came, and just like the priest, the Levite never assisted the injured man. But there came the Samaritan, who he never knew anything about the person, the Jewish that was injured. He set aside his religion differences and decided to help this man. So we were expecting from a Levite, a priest, being religious people, they would have come to assist the Jewish that had been attacked. But that did not happen. So Miss Nicole compares the Good Samaritan, the parable of the Good Samaritan, with what is happening with the Samaritan. She feels so proud of the students that they chose to name the app the Samaritan. Just like the Samaritan in the Bible helped someone who he did not know, it's the same thing that the app will do. it's here to help. Where the leaders have failed, she compares the leaders to the Levites that ignored the Jewish man, to the priest that ignored the Jewish man that had been attacked. And then she also compares the people of Maracas municipality to the Jewish man that had been attacked. They have been robbed, some are killed with no reason given, some are beaten and left for dead. That is the people now in the Maracas municipality. And the leaders are just there ignoring the needs of these people. They only care about their own interest, but not the interest of the people of Maracas municipality. Now, because of that, Nicole feels that there is no one who will come to save the people unless the people decide to come up, stand up for themselves, and try to save themselves. So with the app, the people are able to air their views. They are able also to report the wrong things that are happening in Maracas municipality. She comes out as a very determined and courageous leader, also a teacher. Because the students are wondering, what if something bad happens to you for going against the leaders? And she's really not worried about that. If the people will benefit from the app, then she's not afraid what might happen to her life. So she's very determined, at the same time very assertive. The students also come out as very loving and caring students because they feel we love our teacher so much. So if this app is bringing problems into her life, then we can do away with the app. So that is one of the themes that comes out in scene 1 of Act 2. Apart from determination, we can also see or find the theme of love and care. So scene 1 of Act 2 is just, we only have the 3 characters, that is the 2 students and their teacher. The students are expressing the fear. That is where we get the title of scene 1 being named as fear. They're expressing their fear for their teacher because the app seems to be landing the teacher in a lot of problems. But then again, the teacher comes out as a very determined person, tells them no. Yes, things are not going on well, but if this app is to help a lot of people in Maracas municipality, then let it be. Whatever they may do to the teacher is actually not really afraid of that. So again, Nicole comes out as a very selfless individual. She's not out there for her own interest, but for the interest of the people of Maracas University. Remember, she's not even a part of the leaders. She's not in the executive. She's not in the board. She's just a teacher at Sagrada Secondary School. But this teacher is willing to risk it all to help the people of Maracas municipality. And through her students, we hope that maybe the help that they want or the changes that they want to bring to Maracas municipality may eventually come into play. Now, some of the themes that are coming out, we've mentioned determination that is being brought about by the teacher. Then we have love and care that is through the students. We also have the hypocrisy. Hypocrisy will come out where we are looking at the leaders claim to really care about the welfare of the people, but in real sense, they only care about their own welfare. That is why the teacher is comparing the people of Maracas municipality like the Jewish, and then they are harassed or they're ignored by their leaders like the Levites and the priest. So a lot of hypocrisy coming out from the leaders. Other themes, fear, of course, this is expressed by Montano and Alvita. They feel afraid that their teacher may be in danger, and therefore the suggestion that they're giving is to do away with the app. so that the teacher can be safe. We're also looking at the role of the youth in the society. Alvita and Montano are just like you lovely students. They are youths. And we can see they're trying to bring changes into the society. So there are times that the youth can stand up and bring positive changes in their society. We also have optimism that is expressed by the teacher that one day things will change. Through the Samaritan app, we are able to get changes that we want in our society. You also have technology, that is the Samaritan. You look at what will the Samaritan do. Of course, uses technology to air out the ills, the bad things that these leaders in Maracas municipality may be committed or have committed. So that is basically the plot review of Act 2, Scene 1. Thank you. We move on to the next scene, that is Scene 2.
Thank you. So once more, thank you for tuning in. Remember, you are watching KUTV Elimu Live, Kenya's premier educational television. The such shows are being aired from Monday to Friday from 2 p.m. up to 4 p.m. and on Saturday from 8:30 up to 10:55 a.m. Students from national schools, county schools, and sub-county schools, as well as those ones from kindergarten and primary school, you are all encouraged to watch, because we always air different information, educational services right from these pupils in kindergarten, in primary school and secondary school. So Act 2, the second scene, we will give it a title, The Mayor's Visit to School. So this scene takes place at the principal's boardroom. We have Nicole and the principal who are having a conversation. And remember, previously in the previous scene, Nicole classes, the principal had called Nicole, and Nicole had left the class to see the principal. So in this scene, Nicole and Miss Narine, the principal, are having a discussion. And just before Nicole comes in, Shalini, who is the secretary to the principal, comes in and informs the principal that Miss Nicole is there and wants to see her. So Miss Narine ushers in Nicole and apologizes if she has interfered with Nicole's timetable. He then informs Nicole that the mayor would like to have a word with her. So Miss Nicole wonders why Mayor Mosi would want to have a discussion with her. But Narine says that Mosi wants to follow up on the directive that he had given of stopping the national launch of the Samaritan app. So remember, the national launch was supposed to be to happen after the municipal launch, and it was supposed to be done by the president. And now the mayor wanted to know if at all that the national launch now of the Samaritan app was not going to take place. Then Nicole says that he had sent him the communication from the Minister of the Education, as Miss Nicole inquires from Narine if he had sent him the communication from the Minister of Education in the subject, because at the moment she cannot do anything with the Samaritan app. And so Miss Narine tells Nicole that he did that. And so Miss Nicole says that once the president has launched the app, then the issue of being followed up by the mayor and the leaders of Maracas municipality is going to end, because it's now going to be out of their hands. So Miss Narine says that everybody feels like Nicole is the one behind the scenes of the app. But Nicole says that he's just a teacher in charge of ethics and innovation, and is also a mentor to the two students who invented the app. And so there is nothing that he does aside being the teacher and mentoring these two students, because that is her work. So in the confrontation with the principal becomes so firm and single-mindedly focused, and tells Nicole that she's there to focus on the mission. She's there to focus on the mission of the school, whereby they are supposed to provide the students under their care with quality education. Then Miss Nicole also says that she is not deviating from any of her political obligations as the teacher. And then Miss Njeri says that they have to focus strictly on preparing the students to be responsible and productive citizens. So Miss Njeri, who is also the principal, feels like they should just do away with the app or ban the app, so that they just continue with their business, their usual business in school, aside or unlike the mayor and other leaders of Maracas municipality interfering with their activities in the school. Ms. Nicole also remained adamant and says that is an important innovation, and there's nothing that they can do about the innovation, and so they should not appease a self-seeking political class. Then Ms. Njeri tells Nicole that he should know how to pick battles, the ones that he had to wage, others to avoid, and which ones to defer. And Miss Nicole is still adamant and so determined about letting the Samaritan take place, or rather be launched. So as they're still talking, there's a voice from outside. A voice can be heard from outside, and that voice is the one of the mayor at the secretary's office. So at the secretary's office, the voice of the mayor could be heard. And then Miss Njeri tells Nicole that she has to draw boundaries between school and politics. Then Nicole just says that it's okay. And then the mayor comes in, Mayor Mosi comes in, Nicole and the principal rise up and greet him. So this time, Mosi says that Mosi wants to inquire if the previous time he had told Nicole to write to the Minister of Education so as to stop the national launch of the Samaritan app. So he's there to inquire if that was done. And then Nicole says that the letter was written, or rather there was a communication from the ministry, and the principal wrote to Mosi. So the principal wrote to Mosi, and it's true, the principal did that, but Mosi is somehow ignorant, saying that maybe he has a lot of letters in his trays, and maybe that letter is just there. So from here, we could see that Mosi has a lot of letters in his tray that he is not reading, and maybe focuses on just eliminating the Samaritan app, which Miss Nicola and the students and everybody else who are not the leaders of Maracas municipality, or who are not embezzling funds and being corrupt in the municipality, feels like the Samaritan app is a nice idea and a nice platform to air such vices that are taking place in the municipality. So as they're talking, Mosi says that Miss Njeri just has to find a way to eliminate the app. And then he feels like it is the political opponent, that is his political opponent, Honorable Basdeo, who is deliberately posting some false information about him in the Samaritan app. But Nicole says that the Samaritan, anyone who will post false information or defame anyone will not go scot-free, and so they will. If Mosi feels like there's an information that is false about him, he should just go and plead his grievance in the court of law. Then Mosi says, but some of the posts are anonymous. But again, Nicole reminds him that anyone who posts, the anonymity is just to the public, but the administrator of the app knows, the administrator of the app knows whoever is going to post the information, and once maybe someone feels like the information is defaming them, then they should take the person to the court. The administrator, of course, will know whoever posted the information, and then they'll be taken to court. And then once they're found guilty, of course, they'll be liable to, they'll be the ones who will be accountable for the issues that are posted on the app. So Moses says that Miss Nicole should find a way of eliminating some of the negative information about him from the Samaritan app. But Miss Nicole says that he doesn't have the authority to do that, because the National Information and Communications Corporation has now taken over the app. Then Mosi at this point now decides to bribe Miss Nicole, telling Miss Nicole that everybody needs money, and so he is willing to give Nicole some money. But Nicole is very disappointed, and Nicole could not believe that a mayor who is leading Maracas municipality can do that. So from their discussion again, Mayor points out that he also feels like Ramdae is behind such post. So Ramdae is the mayor's deputy. So he feels like Ramdae is also behind the information that is being posted on the app. And so from what he is saying, we also learned that Ramdae is in charge, aside being the deputy of the mayor, he is also in charge of the Department of Physical Infrastructure. And he also gives the fake title deeds to people. So we'll know if this is true, if maybe someone later on will come up and tell us if Ramdae maybe sold to him or her a piece of land, and how did he go about with the land. So Mosi also tells us that Ramdae sells fake title deeds. He also said that Ted was once a DJ, and then at this juncture he is a secretary and flaunts some lifestyle that they don't even believe that he can. So Ted is in charge of the Department of Health and Environment, and you're told that he ate the whole hospital, meaning that there was a hospital that was supposed to be constructed, but Ted misused, or rather embezzled, the funds, and so we don't have the hospital per se, but we have just some site offices that looks like cowshed. And then from the mayor, we also learn of Seimo, who is the secretary to the Municipal Department of Planning and Development, and he has the Black Swan gang. So we have a lot of gangs in the Samaritan play. So Seimo also has one, the Black Swan gang. And then he also says that Seimo is a drug trafficker, and anybody or any student who has dropped out of school because of drugs, it's because of what Seimo does. So Mayor Mosi tells Miss Nicole that the councillors and aldermen are being mobilized by Seimo, Ted, and Ramdae so as to oust him out of office by having the vote of no confidence against the mayor. And so Mayor thinks that they should do something to eliminate the app, or rather eliminate his name and the negativities that are there on the Samaritan app. Again, Jaden says, Mayor Mosi also says that Justice Jaden also had a wife, but the wife ran away, and he now have countless mistresses. He has a lot of mistresses. So later on we will see if this is true, or it is just Mayor trying to tarnish other people's names. So Mosi says that his own children, they do business with the municipal council, and they are not on. His wife is a pastor, if I'm not wrong, and then the children are abroad. and he is not, he's a straight man, and everything that is being written on the Samaritan to tarnish his name, they're all lies, and so they should just, and so Mosi ends up, the scene ends when Mosi threatens Nicole and tells Nicole that he's giving Nicole instruction as the mayor of the Maracas municipality, and that he has to eliminate the Samaritan app. Okay, thank you so much. We'll have a break and then we'll come back shortly.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Maelfu na maelfu ya wahamiaji wakiwa na watoto kutoka nchi za Amerika ya Kati wanaendelea kuwasili kwenye mpaka kati ya Marekani na Mexico.
But folks, I'm going. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Ni habari kutoka pembe zote duniani.
Pepo pasi vuguvugu. Pepo pa ni idea.
Tazidi ananyonya, hanyonyi vizuri, anakuwa hayuko comfortable.
Jeshi la Jamhuri ya Kidemokrasia ya Kongo linapambana na waasi wa ADF.
Kwa sasa wanatoa wito kwa mashirika, makampuni na vile vituo vya uchukuzi.
Mambo mengi yatakwenda kama yalivyopangwa.
Hapa ni kuna mmoja wa viongozi wa chama cha wavuvi katika eneo hili.
Zaidi tunajaribu kuwapa chanjo ili ina boost ama inanyanyua kinga ya mwili, ndio inaenda kupelekea kupambana na virusi.
Ni duniani leo, Jumatatu mpaka Ijumaa, moja kwa moja kutoka VOA Swahili, Washington DC.
Kaunti maarufu kwa kuzalisha maziwa na ukuzaji wa majani chai. Pia, serikali ya kaunti inawahimiza wakulima kukumbatia mitindo mingine ya kilimo kuzidisha mapato.
Kama kuna kikundi moja inafanya biashara ya kuuza kuku, hao pia tumewafadhili kuwafunza jinsi ya kuhandle zile kuku kwa sababu wanaleta kwa wingi.
Haya yote tunakuletea katika Boresha Kilimo, toleo la kaunti ya Bomet.
Kilimo ni nguzo kubwa kwa ujenzi wa taifa.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
possessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more only on Law Matters.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern TV control room. Enroll today at KUTV and discover your full potential in cutting-edge TV broadcasting. Graduates of these courses will receive professional certificates. For more information, visit our offices at KUTV Studios or call us on 020-870-4252 or 020-870-4255 or SMS us on 0739-110-544. KUTV, a new experience.
Welcome back to KUTV Elimu Live, Kenya's premier educational TV. Today we are analyzing the play The Samaritan by John Lara, and right here we are in Act 2, Scene 3. Welcome, Mwalimu.
Okay, thank you for welcoming me back. We are still in Act 2, Scene 3, the political. This one has been given the title, The Political Strategy. And the scene takes place in a place called the Madingo Golf Club. And this one, we all know it belongs to Mr. Bembe. I don't know whether the other characters know that the place they are holding meetings to actually bring down the same person belongs to him. But let's say this is business that is going on as usual. This scene has been given the title Political Strategy because it seems like it is a subsidiary of Scene 2, even if it is Scene 3, because the events are happening on the same day as the mayor was making a visit to Sagrada Secondary School to try and convince Nicole and the Mrs. Narin to bring down or to put to a halt the Samaritan app. The rebels, that is the mayor, who is the mayor's deputy, Honorable Ramdai, Seima, and also Honorable Ted, they are actually holding a meeting. And now in this case, if you listened keenly to what Madam was saying, in Scene 2 of this act, there is a lot of exposure of the dark past of these members, as you have she has been mentioning. It seems like the mayor is too much informed. He has the information of almost all the people, especially these people have decamped from him. He has talked so much, but what we have just heard is betrayal and also exposure in form of the exposure of their dark past. But in this, dwelling on this scene 3, basically what is happening, we call it a political strategy because all the means have failed. They tried to get money from the mayor refused, but the mayor now is offering Narin and also Nicole some money so that they can put to a halt that Samaritan app. But in this case now, the group had also tried to woo the councillors and also the aldermen to oust the mayor from office, but that one also failed. And kudos to Mr. Bembe the IG and the mayor himself using their militia groups. But this time round, they have decided now to use what we call the political strategy. In this meeting, I want to dwell on the trio, that is Ramdai, Ted, and Seima. They are trying to re-strategize now on how they are going to bring down the group. And in this case, they want to bring down the mayor in this way. They have decided now they are going to use different members with different opinions. And the writer has mentioned them briefly. He has talked about the independent minds. And this is a group that cannot be swayed by the allegations. There is also another group which is called the political entrepreneurs. Political entrepreneurs are those, the group of people who make their political decisions based on how much money they are given. Remember, the contentious issue in this play previously is about money. Ironically, these people are accused of misappropriating money, but nobody is coming forth to say, I have money, except for the mayor, who is trying to woo Nicole by promising her money. There is also another group besides the two that I have mentioned. There is another group that is called the indecisive ones. These ones, we are told, they resort to support the opposition, that is Honorable Pasdeo, so that they can gain more numbers to have a vote of no confidence against the mayor. Of course, when you look at the events, the way they are unfolding in this play, you realize that the rift that happened in Act 1, Scene 2 is actually a benefit to the official opposition leader, who is in this case Honorable Pasdeo. And as you can see, the way these people are regrouping themselves is going to gain. But we are yet to know whether that statement is true. Then Honorable Pasdeo joins the trio that is Ramdai, Ted, and Seima in that Madingo Golf Club, where they were holding a meeting to re-strategize on the issue that is before them. And this is what he has to say. In that one, he argues out that in order to succeed in removing Mosi from office, because we can now all agree that the mayor, of course, he doesn't call himself Mosi or Atunya for free. Is actually what he stands by what he says, because they tried to realign themselves against him, but they failed because of the militia groups. And in this case now, Pasdeo is getting a political strategy together with the rebels. And then in this case, he argues that removing the mayor from office requires that you gain more numbers to have a vote of no confidence. That one doesn't necessarily depend on the councillors and also the aldermen. And another thing that he says, he comes up with several lies that could incite the people against the mayor. In this case, in politics, there is what is called propaganda, and actually that is what the mayor, but whatever the mayor was saying is actually, probably it could be the truth. But now, Pasdeo, who is the opposition leader, is saying that they need to come up with some lies in order to convince the people. And they actually says very clearly that the people tend to believe lies, and that is what happens in politics probably. First, he talks about the marginalization of the other communities in one of the strategies that they are going to use to ensure that the people believe in them. He says the lie is that Mosi had earmarked all the money allocated to the development of the wards occupied by Mosi's ethnic group members. He's trying to marginalize other communities against Mayor Mosi. He's saying that the mayor is actually developing the areas where he comes from, and he thinks that one is going to work. Another lie that he's going to use against him was to claim that Moses people have a smell resembling the battle, while the battle, while other people don't smell. That is also another propaganda that he feels is going to work against the mayor. Now that he feels that they have been defeated in regrouping or ensuring that they get the support of all the councillors. Pasdeo also suggests that they should convene a huge political rally, and Honorable study is to distribute the topics to the councillors and all aldermen who are on their side so that they can prepare adequately for the speech. The rally is to be held on, that is on Wednesday. So in general, I can say, or in conclusion, I can say that they have tried all the means to ensure that they deal with the mayor, they bring him down. And also on the other side, the mayor and his other allies, they are also trying to pull down. And we see the conflict being intense. And some of the issues we see arising from this scene is about the conflict that we have just mentioned. I have just mentioned. There is also the issue of determination, role of media, violence, corruption, and selfishness. There is also nepotism, that issue of that Basdeo is talking about, and also propaganda and deceit, which in this case they go hand in hand with politics, whereby in this case we can say citizens like those politicians who tell them propaganda, as it can be seen. Thank you.
So we move on to the next act, that is Act 3. Again, I'm going to take you through Scene 1, just the plot summary of Scene 1. Now, the setting of Scene 1 in Act 3 is in a classroom at Sagrada Secondary School. Madam Nicole is having a class with her students. We are going to name Scene 1 Ethics. It's an ethic lesson where Miss Nicole is taking her students through some of the ethics that we have in our society. She starts with a review of the previous lesson where they were learning about the problems of the human society and the human heart. She says that the problems of the human society are the problems of the human heart. So it is important to go through the human heart. In her lesson, she states that the human heart has two parts, that is the mind and the soul. In the previous lesson, she had gone through the human mind, where she looks at if we are having the problems of the human mind, how do we solve them? That is by being active in activities such as maybe coming up with medicines, cars, phones, computers, something that is constructive. That is what helps the human mind. Now, in the Scene 1, Act 3, she's looking at the human the second part of the human heart, that is the spirit. And she reminds them, or she tells them, that the spirit has, we have two types of spirits, that is the good and the evil spirit. Now, looking at the good spirit, how do we know we have the good spirit? That is by obeying the rules that are set. The rules that are there are to guide the good spirit. When we follow the rules that are set, then we are following the good spirit. But when we defy the rules, we go against the rules, that is when we are obeying the evil spirits. She goes further to explain what is involved between the two, that is the good spirit and the evil spirit. She talks of the chaos that happen when we fail to obey the spirit or the rules that are set. For example, if you do not obey traffic rules, what happens? Accident may result, death may result, we may have disabilities. So there are consequences of disobeying these rules that are set. She also looks at the rules that are set by the Creator, and we have to obey the those rules because they are associated with the good spirits. Now, she makes a biblical allusion and reminds the students about the fall of Jerusalem and the temple. And why did we have the fall of Jerusalem and the temple? That was as a result of disobeying the laws of the Creator. That is the biblical allusion that she gives. And the students mentioned some of the rules that were broken by the people, so that there was the fall of Jerusalem and the temple. We had the people worshiping other gods, killing, stealing, lying, committing adultery, and failing to love their neighbors. So as a result, there were consequences, and we had the fall of Jerusalem. And then she brings it back from the biblical allusion. She asked the students whether the people now in Maracas municipality are disobeying some of the rules that the people in the biblical allusion disobeyed. And it is true that even in Maracas municipality, we have corruption, killing, lying, committing adultery. That is the sexual perversions that are there in the municipality. So what is happening in the Bible is also happening in Maracas municipality, and that is where we get the biblical allusion that the people in the Bible, the characters in the Bible, there are things that they did wrong, and the people also in municipality, those things are the same. Now, when she gives the evil spirit a name, she refers to the evil spirit as the beast. That is what she refers to. That is the evil spirit. And again, remember, the evil spirit will come as a result of us disobeying the rules and the laws that are set. Now, in Maracas municipality, there are some of the things that are going on as a result of breaking the rules. We have police officer refusing to attend to the citizens before they can offer a bribe. You visit hospitals, again, you find there are no drugs there. You go to the law courts, you cannot, there is no justice unless you bribe the people in the justice system. So the evil spirit, that is the beast. The beast is like the destroyer, is also evident in Maracas municipality. And she's trying to show the importance of people obeying the rules. Now, these are the students. The students will one day become grown-ups and the leaders in the society. Now, she's trying to instill the point of people following rules, people obeying the set rules that are there, so that we do not have repercussions that follow after you disobeying the rules. She reminds them that they should not be followers of the beast, that is the evil spirit, but rather be followers of the good spirit. The good spirit, according to Madame Nicole, is associated with people following the set rules and the laws that are there in the society. Now, some of the themes that may come up from scene 1 are like corruption, where the police officer will not tend to a citizen unless a bribe is given. We have issues like those sexual perversions, injustices that are happening, and more of impunity, that leaders commit or engage themselves in wrongdoings, and we do not have punishment that follows that. So this scene basically is about ethics, and what are we supposed to do as responsible people in the society. Now, the scene comes to an end where the principal, that is Miss Narine, comes in and calls Nicole and informs her that Inspector Bembe is there to he has paid her a visit and wants to carry out an inspection in her office. So that is a brief summary of Scene 1 of Act 3. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. So in the second scene, or Scene 2 of Act 3, we will give it the episodic title, The Saga. So previously we've seen that Miss Nicole's class was interrupted, and Inspector Bembe wanted to investigate Miss Nicole's office. So in this scene, the scene is now taking place at Miss Nicole's office. Bembe has visited Miss Nicole's, and in their conversation, Bembe tells Nicole that there's a range of accusations about her, and that is the reason why he is there. So he tells Nicole that the mayor was there the previous day. The mayor talked to her, but there is nothing that Miss Nicole has done as to what the mayor wanted her to do. So Bembe tells Nicole that it's a crime to disobey the leaders, and so he's being charged with the first mistake of disobeying the mayor. He again tells Miss Nicole that his phone was seen in a murder scene or in a crime scene. So he tells Miss Nicole that he is fighting a losing battle, and she should just let the Samaritan app to be. He should just eliminate the Samaritan app from the people. He again tells. First of all, the mention of the phone signal here takes us to the theme of technology. And so this book, as you can see, it is set in the 21st century, and that is why we have themes such as technology being discussed in the book. So it is not unlike the other set books whereby we'll have a tradition or maybe culture as a theme, but in this one we have more emerging issues or the trends of the activities and the issue that we encounter in our present society. Again, Bembe tells Nicole that he had also stolen the school generator. So remember previously, Bembe together with Mosi and some of the leaders of Maracas municipality had agreed to scheme that Miss Nicole had stolen the generator so that Miss Nicole could be arrested and then prosecuted. So at this juncture, Bembe tells Nicole that he had also stolen the school generator, and they were aware of that. So Miss Nicole feels like all those are lies and tells Bembe that they are trying to fabricate anything against her, and she is not going to accept. She's going to stand on what is right and is not going to listen to whatever they are going to say, as long as he knows that whatever he is saying and whatever he's saying is true, and he is going to stand, she's going to stand on the truth. So Bembe tells Nicole that the Samaritan is a serious app, and it is bringing down, or rather exposing a lot of powerful people, and so the powerful people also want to deal with Miss Nicole, because Miss Nicole is the Samaritan is Miss Nicole's brainchild. But again, Miss Nicole is just a mentor and teacher in charge of innovation. And previously we had been told that it is the students Alvita and Montano who came up with the Samaritan. So they're trying to threaten Miss Nicole just because he is the teacher and he is the one guiding the students as far as the Samaritan app is concerned. So from their discussion, we also learn that there's a theme of environmental degradation, because it is one of the themes that one of the posts that are there in the Samaritan app. We also have the theme of misappropriation of funds, or maybe we can call it corruption, because Miss Nicole says that from the app, people learn to know that there are some of the leaders who are supplying air in Maracas municipality. And previously we had been told by the mayor that Ted Ted, who is in charge of health and development, also supplied air in Maracas municipality. He had been allocated some money for health, but he ended up eating that money. He did not construct any serious hospital, but instead just had some offices at the site that looks like cow sheds. So that is also another theme, that is corruption, that is also coming in from whatever they are discussing. So Bembe informs Nicole that she doesn't have any choice but to do away with the Samaritan app or eliminate the app completely, because it is affecting a lot of people in Maracas municipality and they don't feel good about it. But Nicole is still adamant, Nicole is still firm, and says that the app is just a platform that is protecting and promoting the public good of the people. So the leaders of Maracas municipality feel like the Samaritan app is not good because it is exposing them a lot, both their private life and how they are managing the office. And that's why we can also have the theme of abuse of power or misuse of power as per what is being aired or posted in the Samaritan app. And then you can also talk about abuse of power when we see Inspector Bembe coming to Miss Nicole's office to threaten him and also fabricate lies about Miss Nicole. So at the end of this scene, we see Inspector Bembe directing other police officers to arrest Miss Nicole, and that exactly happens. So up to that point, we can see that that is also police brutality as a theme, or rather misuse of power. Okay, thank you. That is the end of Act 3, Scene 2. Welcome, Maryanne.
Okay, now welcome to Act 3, Scene 3. And this one, we have given it the title, The Judge's Blackmail. And in this case, we are talking about Justice Ian Jaden. And what we all know about Justice Ian Jaden is that he's a straightforward man. But contrary to that, this man has a scandal, as we are going to see in this scene. First of all, the scenes or the events in this play, in this act, scene 3, they take place at Madingo Golf Club. And in this case, we see Mayor Mosi, as the organizer of this meeting, is in the company of his closest ally, the Inspector General, Mr. Bembe. And we also see the waiter serving them some drink, and they seem to be setting an environment that seems like they are celebrating something. And indeed, we come to realize later that they are celebrating their victory against the rival group, because the rebel group, because he's actually thanking Mr. Bembe for ensuring that the rival group did not hold the meeting to work on the modalities of ousting Mayor Mosi from office. Another issue that is coming here is that besides those two, there is another character, Justice Jaden, who is now being blackmailed. He joins them at Madiko Golf Club, and he's surprised. He's wondering why he's being called. And what comes out there is that after the mayor thanking Mr. Bembe for ensuring the rival group did not hold any meeting, he goes straight to the point by telling Justice Jaden that he needs to hurry up and ensure that he imprisons the group, the rival group. And in this case, the Jaden seems to be so adamant. But at the end of the day, the mayor brings in the story. Remember, earlier on, I had mentioned about the mayor being so informative, someone who is so much informed about the dark past of people. And in this case, he's using one of such incidences against Justice Ian Jaden. He brings to the attention of him what is called the Prime Orchard Farm. And in this case, there are some dirty tricks that had been committed. There was this lady by the name of Mrs. Ivy, Ivy is actually a mistress. Remember, we have been talking about sexual perversions, and in this case, Mr. Mosi is bringing to our attention that Justice Ian Jaden had an involvement with Ivy, who later on became a major contractor who was dealing with the rodents that allegedly were bred by her and her company. And in this case, when it is mentioned, it seems to pin Justice Jaden to a point that he feels that now he has to bow to what the mayor wants. And to go into details, the meeting ends with Justice Jaden being pinned, and he says that he agrees that he's going to jail them, but we are yet to know whether he really ended up jailing the rebels. Some of the thematic issues that we see from this scene, we have the issue of the militia groups that have been positively been used by Mr. Bembe. That is the one that is run by the mayor, and also another one called the Ghetto Boys run by Mr. Bembe. There is the pertinent issue of blackmail, which has really worked. And in this case, we are all thinking that Jaden is clean, but we have come to realize that earlier on, he had influenced some decisions on ensuring that some group led by Mrs. Ivy actually squandered some money from the municipal council. Another issue is about favorism and abuse of power. This one now affects or directly affects Jaden. He has used his office to actually favor a lady whom he has an affair with. Then there is also injustice and also selfishness. However much we will say that the mayor has won against Jaden, this is very injustice to him, as we can see. And it actually portrays selfishness. There is also corruption and impunity. Of course, all the issues we are talking about here are all about what? Corruption and impunity. People doing things in favor of them without fearing the repercussions. There is also the issue of fear. Now, Justice Jaden is fearing for his life because he feels that the Samaritan is now going to hear the same information, and his reputation is going to be tarnished. But of course, it has already happened, so he's in fear, and that is why he agrees to basically prosecute the rebels. There is the issue of materialism. Basically, the whole story about the blackmail is based on materialism. Of course, there could be no any reason why Ivy could be competing to get a contract. It's because she needs the money that was running loose in Maracas municipality. Those are some of the issues touched there. Thank you for listening to me.
So we proceed to the final act of the Samaritan, that is Act 4. Again, we have 3 scenes. Scene 1, I'm going to briefly look at scene 1. So scene 1, the setting, first give it a title, The Plan. The setting is in the jungle room in the Madingo Golf Club. We have Justin Jaden and Mr. Harvester. Remember, Mr. Harvester is the Chief Executive Officer in Maracas Municipality. And throughout, we've not seen him in either of the 2 rival groups that are there. We have 2 groups, the rival groups from the leadership of Maracas Municipality. One group is headed by the Mayor Mosi, the other one is by Ramdai. So, but between these 2 groups, when you try and look at who are the members of the 2 rival groups, only Harvester seemed to be neutral. He's neither in the mayor's side nor in the deputy mayor's side. So Jaden and Harvester are having a meeting. This meeting, Jaden is wants help from Harvester concerning the Samaritan, because the Samaritan has brewed a lot of problems in Maracas municipality, especially touching the leaders. So Jaden is looking for a way out, and he thinks, or he's hopeful that Harvester may offer that help. But as we can see, Harvester is in no better position to offer the help, because he himself is also accused of numerous crimes in the Samaritan app. But he's in his defense, he's saying that he did the things that he's accused of because he was forced by the mayor. So he's using the mayor as his scapegoat. According to him, he's a man of God, he's saved. He's even telling Jaden that the wife and the children are fasting so that Harvester can get himself out of the problems that he's being accused of. Again, hiding behind religion. That is what Harvester is doing. That now that I am a man of God, there is no way I can commit the things that I'm being accused of in the Samaritan. But Jaden, being the judge he tells Harvester that the mayor has instructed the lawyers of the municipal council to file cases against the deputy mayor, that is Honorable Ramdai, Samaritan, and Basdeo. But now Harvester is wondering, so what is the problem? Why can't you go on and convict the four as per the mayor's instruction? But Jaden is in a dilemma, because the crimes that have been the four are being accused of, he's also part of the same crimes. He once or twice or many times committed the same crimes that these four are being accused of. So he finds himself in some sort of a dilemma. If he goes ahead and convict them, he might as well convict himself, something that he does not want. From Act 3, Scene 3, you've had the judge being blackmailed because of the Prime Orchard Farm, a crime that he was involved in. The same crime, therefore, the quartet are involved in is the same crime that Justin Jaden was also involved in. So there is no way he's going to convict the four without convicting himself. So he's trying to look for a way out that may serve the interest of these two rival groups. That is the Basdeo's group and the Mayor's Mosi group. And the only way he thinks of is having a truce, that these two rival groups will come together and agree to work together as one. According to Jaden, if they continue working separately, they are all going to lose. Because remember, the Samaritan is fighting all these leaders in Maracas municipality, and neither of them are clean. They are all guilty of the crimes that they have been charged. So according to him, he suggests that if they come together, they are going to win together. So he had called Harvester to talk to the two groups and see if they can have a truce. Because if they are able to come up with one plan together, then they are able to defeat the Samaritan. So they want to be united. They come up as a united force to fight the Samaritan. That is why we are calling the Scene 1 as the plan. The two groups come up together, they have a truce, they secure a truce, then they gang up as one group. Remember, united they stand, divided they are going to fall. So Jaden, in his wisdom, says the only way they are going to defeat the Samaritan is the Samaritan app is coming together. The Honorable Basdeo's group and Honorable Moses group, they come together, have a truce, then they work as united force to fight the Samaritan. That is basically the summary, a brief review of Scene 1, Act 4. So we move on, we see whether the plan or the truce is going to help them fight the Samaritan up. Thank you.
So Scene 2 of Act 4, we will give it the title, Reconciliation. So this scene is set at the chambers of the principal judge, and the two rival groups, one of Honorable Basdeo, who is the political opposition leader, and the other group of the mayor is also, the mayor now, Mayor Mosi, is also there at the meeting with his company. So on the meeting, they focus on dropping the cases, or dropping off case and all the plans against each group. And in their discussion, we see that as they are having their meeting, we see that they start with everybody thinking of what might befall them as far as the Samaritan app is concerned. So Mayor feels like they have the plan to get him out of the office, and so they should see the way forward in which he's going to remain in office. Seymour also feels like the mayor has refused to reallocate some money that they can use to free themselves from the cases that are aired or posted in the Samaritan app. On the other hand, Harvester feels like the Samaritan app is the problem. Inspector Bembe feels like the school children, that is Alvita and Montano, who invented the Samaritan app, are the problem. And so because everybody thinks of themselves, and so this one you can term it as egocentrism as a theme. So everybody is so egocentric, and everybody feels like they have to maintain their position, or they have to maintain their office, or they just have to do whatever they can do so as to clear the mess or clean themselves as per the information that is being posted on the Samaritan app about them. So Basdeo feels like he's clean and says that some of them have some skeleton, and that is why they're afraid of the Samaritan app. And then Inspector Bembe reminds Basdeo about the grain scandal we've seen in our previous episode about the prime orchard farmer and the grain scandal in general. So Basdeo was also a shareholder in the prime orchard farm. So Bembe reminds Basdeo that even he has some skeleton, and Bembe agrees that indeed all of them have the skeletons in their closet. So Jaden feels like tells them that the reason why they are there, the reason why they are having the meeting in his chamber, is that they have to see how they have to reconcile, get together, have a common goal, and make sure they are not going to be prosecuted in the court. And Seymour also feels like they should do whatever they can do so that they don't end up in Baneta Express prison. And as they are having a discussion, Jaden comes in and tells them that they have alternatives in what they can do. They can halt the Samaritan, or they can confront someone to lodge the case against them, or they can just say that the Samaritan is infringing on their privacy, and so they should just ban the app because it is prodding into the people's privacy, which is a contravention of the law. So Basdeo suggests that they can talk to Miss Nicole, but the mayor reminds him that Miss Nicole is so bold, is so firm, and Miss Nicole will not agree on anything. Again, Basdeo proposes that they give him a powerful position in the municipal council. So Jaden says that the matter is beyond Nicole, but Mosi again feels like it is all, everything that is happening in concern to the Samaritan is political, and so they can give Nicole a position, or rather appoint Nicole to be the director in Maracas municipality. So they plan to visit the school and then inform Nicole about the position that they're going to give her in Maracas municipality as the director. So some of the themes that are that can be highlighted in this scene is corruption and selfishness, just from the way they're talking, and they talked about egocentrism, and then there is abuse of office, there's power, there's fear, there's also conflict, like we've seen from the public as well as the leaders. We also have the role of media, whereby Jordan reveals that it's the media that is posting a lot of their issues, as well as the scandals and rot in the public. So that brings us to the end of the second scene, as they plan to visit the school and inform Nicole of her new position. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to the last scene of Act 4. And in this one, we are told it happens during lunch hour at Sagrada Secondary School in the principal's boardroom. And what we are learning, just a recap of what happened in Act 4, Scene 2, all the officials in Maracas municipality, in addition to Mr. Pasdeo, who is the official opposition leader, they had agreed on the modality, and the modality was awarding or appointing this lady, Mrs. Nicole, as the director in Maracas municipality, and in this case they have called the principal. So therefore the scene opens with Mrs. Narine being furious and unhappy because she feels that the issue about the Samaritan app is actually interfering with the normal running of the school, because you see the mayor has made numerous visits to the school, and now they are coming as the whole officials as Maracas municipality, and she quite doesn't understand why they are coming. So we see her confronting Nicole in her office before they arrive. But basically what happens, even after they arrive in that meeting, the principal leaves because she says she's not going to involve herself anymore. So she leaves to an undisclosed place, even though she says that basically she had left to attend to some other issues. The information she's trying to pass across is that she doesn't want to mix school activities with the politics that are happening in Maracas municipality. In this play, in this scene, the last scene of Act 4, that is Scene 3, we see a lot of issues coming in, but the pertinent issue here is an alliance that is happening between the members of the municipal council who have previously been rivaling one another, and it is actually one of an indication that it is not a good thing that they are planning to do. In this case, they are trying to do what I can call sanitization. They want to sanitize themselves, and they have also come up with a way of doing that. So basically, I can say later on, towards the end of the play, the principal comes back with some members who are believed to be members of the Anti-Corruption Commission in a bureau in Maracas municipality. And therefore the members are arrested, and that one brings us to the end of that play. But before we finish on that scene, there are some pertinent issues that have come out from that scene. There is the issue of colonialism, and we are talking about neocolonialism. Then there is also bad governance and misuse of office. It is evident now the opposition has joined the government in ensuring that they find their way out of what is actually against them. There is also the issue of corruption. Corruption is also key. There is greed for power, and also there is also deception, hypocrisy, and pretense, change, and optimism. But above all, justice is the key theme, as the title of that scene is. Justice has been served, and now the citizens of Maracas municipality have finally gotten justice. So the Samaritan app wins. Thank you for listening to me.
Okay, once more, thank you for watching. Remember, this is KUTV, Elimu Live, Kenya's premier educational television. Remember, search educational classes are aired on Monday from 2 to 4 p.m. only on KUTV, and on Saturday from 8:30 to 10:55 a.m. So The Samaritan by John Lara is a compulsory play in our secondary education, and this year it will be tested in paper 3 question 2, and then next year it will be tested in paper 2 question 2. And remember, they always alternate. If they test the play this year in paper 3, they'll test the novel in paper 2, and then in the next year next year they test the play, now The Samaritan, in paper 2, and then the novel Fathers of Nation will be tested in paper 3. So this book is tested in paper 3 question 2, that is the compulsory essay question. And to our students from the national schools, extra-county schools, county schools, and sub-county schools, we have a question for you from The Samaritan. And the question is, corruption molds suspicious leaders who will always work towards escaping punishment rather than working towards the progress of their nations. Using illustrations from The Samaritan by John Lara, write a composition. So you have to write an essay that will focus basically on corruption as one of the major themes that runs across the play, right from the first act up to the last act. So we've come to the end of our presentation today. Remember, this has been KUTV Elimu Live, the Kenya's premier educational television. Thank you for watching.